Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Pris from Pris Peruses, and as you can see from the title, I am going to be talking about my 5-star prediction. I have next to me a stack of 10 books that I think I'm gonna love and will end up being 5 stars. But yeah, let's just dive right on into this stack of books, but I am very excited to talk about. First up is Starfill by Dominique Valente. I am so excited to read this. I know Emma has absolutely loved this book and she's been screaming her head off for us to read it as well. And I'm going to be reading this very, very soon. Probably next week. So I'm very excited. This is about a girl called Willow, and she has the ability to find things, which is useful but not exactly exciting in this world. Until last Tuesday has gone missing. And Willow needs to save the world. This sounds so good. It sounds right up my alley. I know Jade recently read this and she said it was perfect. It was so good and she really enjoyed it. And she described this as Nevermore meets Wizard of Wands, which made me even more excited for this because I love both Nevermore and Wizard of Wands. And she said it's very nonsensical, but not like too nonsensical. So I'm very excited to read this because I love me some magical middle grades and I love when a book does not make sense. I love it when there is a nonsensical world and it's all wacky and weird and fantastic. So I'm very excited to read this and I'm going to be reading this next week and we will find out if it ends up being a 5-star, which I think it might. Next up, we have 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I think this is going to be right up my alley. The back says, Princess in Exile, a shape-shifting dragon, 6 enchanted cranes, and an unspeakable curse. It will take more than magic for her to find her way home. I read the Spin the Dawn duology by Elizabeth Lim. Absolutely loved it. I think Elizabeth Lim's writing is so magical, so whimsical, and I just think I'm gonna love this. I know Jess has recently read this and absolutely loved it, so I'm very excited to get to this, and I think it will be a 5-star. Next up, we have the Rune of Kings. I am so excited to read this. I'm gonna say this about all these books, but I'm very, very excited to read this. This is the first book in a Chorus of Dragon series. I know Jade absolutely loved this series. She's been raving about this ever since she picked up the first book. I think she was like 5 pages into the first book and she already said this was going to be a 5-star. So I am very excited to get to this. I know this is about dragons and a long lost prince who may be there to destroy a kingdom. I don't know. I kind of want to go into this blindly. I have plans for this as well, so you might want to keep an eye out for that. But I know the last book of this series comes out, I think it's April or May. And I just might be ending up binging the series and vlogging the experience. Who knows? Who knows? You heard it here first. But yeah, very excited to read this. This sounds like such a cool, epic high fantasy series to really sink your teeth in. And I just cannot wait. Next up is Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. I absolutely love The House at the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I gave it 5 stars as well. I'm so excited to read this one. I think this is going to be quite hard-hitting because our main character needs to cross over from the land of living to the land of death. I think he gets 7 days to do that, so he has to live his best life in just 7 days. So I think this is going to be quite an emotional, important read. Yeah, I'm just very excited to get to this very soon. Next up is The Lies of Lamora by Scott Lynch. I am so excited to read this. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet. I'm quite intimidated by it as well. I don't know why exactly, but I think I'm gonna love this. I know Cody does from Cody's Book Corner, and my taste aligns quite nicely with Cody. We end up liking the same books, like The Starless Sea. But yeah, I think this is going to be so good. This is all about the gentleman's bastard, which is a thief gang. I think this book is going to be full of morally gray characters, and I love morally gray characters. I just think it's so interesting when the main character is not necessarily good, not necessarily evil, but like very in between. Like, you kind of hate them, but also love them, or kind of hate to love them, or love to hate them. I think it just makes such an interesting story, and I'm very excited to read this. Next up is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz-Zafón. This is another book that I know Cody absolutely loves. This is a book about books. So, do I need to know more? No. I know this is a little bit out of my comfort zone because it is historical fiction, but it is about this boy that is taken to a secret library and he only gets to pick one book, and he picks The Shadow of the Wind. And from there, all mysterious things are going to be unfold. I'm very excited to read this. I had this for the longest time. I really need to get to it. But I think this is going to be spectacular, and I want to read it soon. Then we have The Asylum Patient. I only recently picked a copy of this up, but I've been interested in this for the longest time. I don't usually read thrillers. I do quite enjoy them when I read them, so I really want to give this a go. But I have heard nothing but great things about this, and as a person who don't often read thrillers, I think this is going to be a proper mindfuck. I've been hearing so good things about this, like all the twists and turns. So yeah, I am very excited about this. Next up, we have a book that I cannot believe I have not read yet. I'm quite ashamed of it because this was one of my most anticipated releases of 2021, and it is The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. I cannot believe I have not read this yet. This is outrageous behavior on my part. Ashley, I'm sorry. I loved the Bone season. I have read all the books so far up to The Mask Falling. I gave all of them 5 stars, but I need to reread the Bone series first. I want to reread all books leading up to this because I think I've forgotten so many details about the series and I want to have the full experience. So, when I find time in my schedule somewhere, I'm going to be rereading the whole Bone season series, including The Mask Falling. The next book is probably the most intimidating book I have on my TBR. I am so scared for this book. I know I will sob, I will cry, I want to rip my eyeballs out when I read this, but I think it's going to be a 5-star, and that is A Little Life. I have been hearing like dreadful things about this, but in the best possible way. I've been hearing people saying that this changed their lives. I have been hearing people say that this is the book they cried over the most. So I'm scared. I'm very scared. But I will read this at some point. I will. And I think I am going to be in pain for the whole experience. But at the end of it, I also think it's going to be 5 stars. Then the very last book that I have that I think will get 5 stars is To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. This book is huge and it is intimidating. I don't know anything about this book. I've been hearing people raving about this. I know it's from the same author that wrote the Aragon series. I am just excited. I think this is going to be an epic high sci-fi series that I'm really going to enjoy. I know Sasha from The Wild Sasha has read it and she absolutely adored it. I am just very excited for this and I cannot tell you why, but there's just something about this book that keeps drawing me in. So, I'm gonna hopefully read it this year. Fingers crossed. I have so many books I need to read this year. Yeah, but I am intimidated, I am scared, but I'm also very excited for this. So yeah, that is the last one of my 5-star prediction. Those were all the books that I think are going to get 5 stars. I do want to make at some point a video to see if they actually gotten 5 stars. So if I read this entire stack, which hopefully will be this year, I don't know. Let's hope for the best. It will be this year. Let's manifest. It will be this year. Manifesting. Hopefully I will read them this year and I can do a video revisiting all those books to see if they actually gotten 5 stars, which I think would be quite fun. That was it for today. Those were my 5-star predictions, and I will hopefully see you soon with another video. If you have enjoyed, please give a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you have read any of these books, and if you want to let me know what your rating was. Let me know which one I should absolutely prioritize from this stack of books. And if you could also subscribe to this channel, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much for the support, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!